The story begins in the bustling city of Paris, introducing us to a beautiful and fiercely dedicated 38-year-old woman named Alice Lawtons. For the past 8 years, Alice has been a relentless workaholic at Rebelle, a high-profile Parisian fashion magazine. She remains fully committed to advancing her career and dreams of becoming the next editor-in-chief. However, her rigid nature, serious demeanor, and conservative fashion sense have severely hindered her progress. Consequently, she has been entirely passed over for a promotion for the last 4 years. In her personal life, Alice is equally isolated. She is divorced and lives with her young daughter. Due to her overwhelming workload, she struggles to spend quality time with her child and has absolutely no personal time left for herself. Eventually, Alice travels to Brazil for an important corporate assignment. During her return flight to Paris, a twist of fate introduces her to a charming 20-year-old architecture college student named Balthazar. Originally, Balthazar had booked an economy class ticket. Fortunately for him, a technical issue with his assigned seat prompts the flight crew to upgrade him, placing him directly next to Alice in the luxurious business class. Balthazar is thrilled to experience business class for the first time, whereas Alice remains entirely absorbed in her laptop work, ignoring her surroundings. Suddenly, during the descent, the aircraft experiences violent turbulence. Terrified by the severe shaking, Alice instinctively reaches out and tightly grabs Balthazar's hand. Experiencing such a bold gesture from a beautiful older woman leaves Balthazar completely mesmerized, instantly sparking a deep attraction toward her. Shortly after, the plane lands safely. Balthazar desperately wants to strike up a conversation, yet Alice simply bids him a hasty goodbye and rushes off. Moments later, Balthazar notices that Alice's crucial pink USB drive has fallen under her seat. He sprints out of the airport terminal to return it, only to realize he is too late. Alice has already gotten into her sister Sandrine's car and driven away, leaving Balthazar watching her disappear into the distance. During the car ride, Sandrine aggressively suggests that Alice should meet a respectable doctor for a potential marriage arrangement. Having zero interest in tying the knot again, Alice firmly refuses. This rejection angers her sister, who desperately wants Alice to abandon her lonely lifestyle and start fresh with a good man. The following morning, Alice arrives at her office. Unfortunately, her younger colleagues deeply dislike her strict, humorless behavior and constantly gossip behind her back. Despite the toxic environment, Alice does have one supportive male colleague who constantly has her back. Later that day, a receptionist informs Alice that a young man named Balthazar called, specifically asking to speak with her. Unaware of his name, Alice dismisses the message, claiming she does not know anyone by that name. Seeking clarity on her career, Alice approaches her boss, Vincent, to discuss her overdue promotion. Vincent brutally shuts her down, stating that her editorial style is completely outdated and boring. He warns her that the fashion industry demands fresh, provocative, and exciting content. If she fails to reinvent her image and bring something edgy to the table, she will be fired. Panic sets in. Alice stays late at the office that night, desperately brainstorming ways to modernize her professional image. Suddenly, she rereads the receptionist's note and realizes the caller mentioned a lost USB drive. Remembering the missing files from her flight, she immediately dials the number. Balthazar answers, currently hanging out with his friends at a local bar, and invites her to come pick it up. Upon arriving outside the bustling venue, Balthazar warmly greets her and brings her inside to introduce her to his college friends. Coincidentally, 2 young female colleagues from Alice's office happen to be at the same bar. They are utterly shocked to see their notoriously strict, older colleague hanging out with a 20-year-old college boy. Needing the files for work, Alice asks Balthazar for the drive. He cheekily reveals that he actually left the USB at his apartment, meaning they must travel there together. Stepping outside, Balthazar offers her a ride on his vibrant pink scooter. Having never ridden a scooter before, Alice is highly hesitant. Balthazar gently helps her strap on a helmet, sharing a remarkably close and intimate moment. The 2 spying colleagues observe this interaction from a specific angle that makes it look exactly like Alice and Balthazar are passionately kissing. Seizing the opportunity, they secretly snap a photo and immediately upload it to social media. Balthazar brings Alice to his apartment, where his father is also present. He deliberately delays handing over the USB drive, hoping to spend just a few more precious minutes talking to her. Once he finally surrenders the drive, Alice prepares to leave. Balthazar eagerly offers to drop her home, yet Alice politely declines, opting to take a cab instead. Taking a leap of faith, Balthazar asks if he can take her out for coffee sometime. Alice remains silent, simply offering a warm smile and a polite thank you before walking away. The next day at the office, the atmosphere shifts dramatically. Everyone is staring at Alice with strange, lingering looks. Utterly confused by the attention, Alice is soon confronted by a coworker who shows her the viral photograph. The entire company now believes Alice is secretly having a wild affair with a 20-year-old boy. While Alice knows it was merely a visual misunderstanding, her boss Vincent reacts entirely differently. He is absolutely thrilled. Vincent praises her newfound cougar persona, believing that an edgy relationship with a much younger man is exactly the kind of provocative image the magazine needs to target a younger demographic. Feeling the pressure, Alice confides in her supportive friend. He suggests a brilliant, albeit manipulative, idea. Alice should fake a romantic relationship with Balthazar just to impress Vincent and secure the editor-in-chief position. Deep down, Alice knows that playing with a young boy's genuine feelings is morally wrong. Nevertheless, her blinding ambition and desperation for the promotion take over. She decides to use Balthazar to advance her career. The following evening, Alice orchestrates a meeting with Balthazar. She arrives sporting a stunning, completely modernized makeover. Balthazar is left absolutely speechless by her beauty. Alice initiates heavy flirting, leaving the young man in total disbelief that an elegant woman like her is showing genuine interest. To solidify her new public image, Alice takes Balthazar to a high-profile art exhibition hosted by her colleague. She deliberately parades Balthazar around the venue, ensuring everyone sees her dating a younger man. During the event, the host attempts to touch Alice inappropriately. Balthazar immediately steps in, mocking the host's pretentious art to defend her. Surprisingly, Alice bursts into laughter, joining in on the mockery. Deeply insulted, the host storms off. Later that night, Alice and Balthazar share a quiet conversation. Balthazar confesses that he never imagined a woman like her would ever spend time with him. He is fully aware of her divorce and her daughter, assuring her that none of it bothers him. Just as they are connecting, Alice receives an urgent phone call from her sister Sandrine. Sandrine reveals she has invited the boring doctor over for dinner and demands Alice return home immediately. Wanting to avoid hurting Balthazar's feelings, Alice lies, claiming her daughter has suddenly fallen ill. Deeply concerned for her child, Balthazar immediately hails a taxi and gently helps her inside. His genuine care makes Alice realize what a kind-hearted person he truly is. Upon arriving at Sandrine's house, Alice endures a highly awkward dinner with her sister, brother-in-law, and the prospective doctor. Already intoxicated from the art show, Alice begins aggressively interrogating the doctor, making him incredibly uncomfortable until he finally leaves in frustration. Meanwhile, Alice's primary focus remains on securing her promotion. To further impress her superiors, she invites Balthazar as her +1 to an exclusive fashion show attended by the company's CEO. During the runway walk, a model trips and falls hard on the stage. Without hesitation, Balthazar rushes forward to help her up, a chivalrous act that deeply impresses the CEO. Following the successful event, Alice and Balthazar attend the vibrant after-party. While dancing together, the physical chemistry between them becomes undeniable. They lean in close, completely lost in the moment. Suddenly, Alice notices a group of girls taking pictures of them. Realizing the public spectacle, she grabs Balthazar's hand and rushes him out of the venue. Balthazar drives her home on his scooter. Standing outside her front door, he leans in for a romantic kiss. Overwhelmed by guilt and her own conflicting emotions, Alice pulls away and quietly slips inside the house, believing he has entirely ruined his chances. However, he soon discovers from a neighbor that Alice's daughter is actually staying at her aunt's house. Empowered by this information, Balthazar returns, boldly pulls Alice into a passionate kiss, and they end up spending an incredibly intimate night together. The next morning, the crushing weight of reality hits Alice. She feels terrible about crossing the line and abruptly demands that Balthazar leave her house. Outside, a massive rainstorm is pouring down, forcing Balthazar to linger in the hallway until the weather clears. Just then, Sandrine and Alice's daughter arrive home unexpectedly. Panicking, Alice introduces Balthazar merely as a junior colleague. She hands him some files and rushes him toward the exit. Yet, as he steps out the door, Alice's true feelings overpower her logic. She stops him in his tracks and kisses him passionately. It becomes crystal clear that Alice has genuinely fallen in love with him. What initially began as a selfish, calculated stunt has blossomed into real, profound romance. Over the following weeks, their relationship flourishes. Balthazar constantly surprises her with spontaneous dates, bringing immense joy into Alice's previously monotonous life. They are genuinely happy together. One evening, Balthazar asks a vulnerable question. Considering she is wealthy, successful, and beautiful, why did she choose someone like him? Alice remains painfully silent, harboring the dark secret of how their relationship truly began. Eventually, Alice's calculated efforts pay off, and she finally receives her long-awaited promotion to editor-in-chief. While she is thrilled about her career, her anxiety regarding Balthazar peaks. During their next meeting, Balthazar looks her in the eyes and confesses his deep love, stating he wants to marry her one day. This innocent declaration terrifies Alice. She aggressively pushes back, highlighting the massive 18-year age gap. She explains that he still has an entire life to explore, whereas she is burdened with heavy adult responsibilities, a demanding career, and a child to raise. Terrified of societal judgment and the guilt of her initial deception, Alice tearfully ends the relationship. Despite Balthazar's desperate pleas to make it work, Alice walks away, sacrificing her happiness out of fear. The breakup leaves both of them completely shattered. Alice realizes that achieving her dream job feels entirely empty without Balthazar. Similarly, Balthazar is heartbroken, spending his days mourning the loss. His father attempts to comfort him, sharing his own stories of youthful heartbreak and encouraging Balthazar to keep moving forward. Several days later, the CEO visits the Rebel office to review the upcoming magazine cover. Dissatisfied with the generic male models, she demands a fresh, heroic face. Coincidentally, she spots Alice's laptop screen, which still displays a candid photograph of Balthazar. Recognizing him as the chivalrous boy from the fashion show, the CEO demands that Balthazar become the new face of the magazine. Alice is horrified by this directive, desperately wanting to avoid reopening old wounds. However, under strict orders, she is forced to contact him. Alice repeatedly calls and messages Balthazar, who is currently drinking heavily at home, completely ignoring his phone out of anger. Left with no choice, Alice drives to his apartment and forces him to speak with her. Balthazar initially hopes she has come to reconcile. Instead, Alice awkwardly pitches the modeling gig, mentioning the money and the opportunity to work with beautiful women. This completely shatters Balthazar. Realizing she is only here to use him for her career once again, he furiously rejects the offer, declaring that he never wants to see her face again. On the day of the crucial cover shoot, the entire production team is waiting. Alice is terrified that if Balthazar doesn't show up, her newly acquired promotion will be revoked. Surprisingly, Balthazar walks through the studio doors, entirely driven by his lingering love for Alice. He is escorted to the makeup chair to prepare. While waiting, Alice's male friend approaches Balthazar to apologize. In doing so, he accidentally reveals the devastating truth. He was the one who originally advised Alice to fake the entire relationship just to secure her promotion. Hearing this betrayal destroys Balthazar. Realizing that the foundation of their romance was a calculated, manipulative lie, he walks out to the main set, grabs Alice, and forcefully kisses her in front of the entire crew, just to prove a toxic point. He then steps in front of the camera, but his heartbreak translates into a terrible performance. He refuses to pose properly, actively mocking the photographer's instructions. Frustrated and furious, Balthazar storms off the set. Alice desperately chases after him, begging him to understand. Turning around with tears in his eyes, Balthazar yells that he loved her with all his heart, while she only treated him as a stepping stone for her career. He leaves the studio, leaving Alice completely devastated. Because of the ruined photo shoot, Vincent ruthlessly fires Alice. Stripped of her job and the man she loves, Alice is left with absolutely nothing. Sitting in the quiet aftermath, she finally experiences an epiphany. She realizes that genuine love and human connection are vastly more important than any hollow career title. Determined to fix her massive mistake, Alice tracks Balthazar down at his crowded university architecture class. Walking right to the front of the lecture hall, she publicly declares her love for him in front of all his peers. She confidently states that she no longer cares about her career, her future plans, or the cruel judgments of society. She apologizes for her selfish mistakes and admits that all she truly wants is to be with him. Moved by her raw, public vulnerability and realizing her feelings are finally genuine, Balthazar forgives her. He walks up and kisses her passionately as the classroom erupts in applause. The two happily reunite, ready to face the world together, bringing this beautiful romantic comedy to a perfect end. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.